Okay, so I've dumped into my bowl, my sponge bowl, the flour and the water, and this is for a double recipe for a sourdough baguette. This will make 6 kind of shorter baguettes, and if you want it, it can make 4 much longer ones. I have a smaller oven, so I can't do that. But anyway, so this is, again, this is a double recipe, and this uses all my sponge, which I like. So anyway, let's look at this. We've dumped in the flour. I have dumped in the flour, 9 cups of white flour. You can do a whole wheat white mixture. You can, you do oat, whatever you feel like. But anyway, this is 9 cups of white flour and 28 ounces of water. And the water is lukewarm. The one thing I have read that will kill a sourdough starter is extreme hot. So you want to be careful that your water is not too hot. But if it is warm, it will give the dough a nice start. So anyway, yeah, that's my mixture. And what I'm going to do here, let me angle the camera. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just take plastic. You never want to use metal with anything sourdough, but I just use this plastic spoon to start with, or you can use wood, but I found that that when the dough is this wet, it sticks a lot to wood, so use the plastic. And this first part, we're actually not going to knead it yet. We're just going to stir it in so it's well incorporated. And one thing you want to watch for is that you're really scraping the bottom of the bowl with your spoon, so you get that starter that was on the bottom really mixed in well. And again, this first part is just getting the water and flour and starter really mixed well. So scrape it. This process shouldn't take very long, maybe a minute till it gets really mixed in well. Okay. And I mean, you'll see that it's not even completely mixed, but this is good for now. At this point, we let this wet sticky dough, we let it sit for 20 minutes before we add the salt. And I guess that's supposed to allow the flour to the flour to soak in the moisture. And I guess the salt can prohibit that. It's just something I read. I don't know if it's really true, but anyway, that's what I do from that recipe I follow, the baguette recipe. So I let this sit. I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to cover it up again with my plastic bag. You'll see that this is a really sticky dough, and it actually is not like any other bread dough that I've worked with. Baguette dough and artesian dough is known to be a really wet dough and kind of strange to work with when you're not used to, but you will get used to it. So anyway, let's get all this dough in here, and we'll cover it back up and let it sit for 20 minutes.